We've got our first sign of scobies forming on the top layer of our vinegars, and this is looking great. You can see here I'm adding some ginger bug to help fuel the process, and I'm going to set that off to the side for a while. I also grabbed one of those scobies from one of my old grows, and I'm going to try to dry it later. Now, moving on, I managed to get my hands on some soursop. This was provided by my friend Cut over at Melanation. Please check them out. They help source really good fruit. So I managed to get some soursop, and I'm going to ferment this whole and make many things out of it. So this fruit is very expensive, so I wanted to make it last. So what better way than to ferment? I even kept the seeds for some other stuff. As for fermenting the soursop, I just took all of the pieces and submerged them in the ginger bug, and then I'm going to add some extra water on top of that. Now, I took all the water out of my original ginger bug, so I'm going to have to add that water back in. So I chopped up some extra ginger, and in the soursop mixture I just added sugar and water. And I'm just taking all of my ginger bug pieces and adding it to a much bigger container because I'm going to need this to top off my other fermentation, so I'm going to need a lot more. Last but not least, we cannot forget about the lion's mane sourdough starter, so I revitalized it and put it inside of a jar. This was the last thing that I did for that night, so I went to bed, and when I woke up, everything was popping off. That's the lemon right there. That's the orange vinegar, and you can see those bubbles are like all the way popping in there. So I took a couple of scoops out, made a rough mixture, and I was in the kitchen for hours doing this. And last time when I made the bread, I mentioned that it was very dry, so this time I literally folded it into like a puddle of water, and then I added like a handful of flour. So this thing was like almost a batter, but it was still technically a dough. So after all this messing around, I finally got a perfect lion's mane bread. Like, it's so good. I am definitely going to keep making bread, but we also need to revitalize that kimchi that we made a while ago.